Hi, and welcome to Chain Reactions, a weekly live stream from Myosin.xyz, the leading global marketing network, and hosted by yours truly, Blake, and my co-host, Paulina. Tune in each week as we jam on the latest happenings in the wild and wonderful world of Web3. We're live on Unlonely.app every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, and release the pod every following week on Tuesdays. Now, let's talk Chain Reactions. We are humming. Okay, so
I'm gonna post on Discord. You Blake Telegram?
Oh, we're not. I need to make a formal announcement, but we are shutting down the Discord, or we're just not going to use it. But yeah,
Live stream viewers heard the alpha first. Discord.
Yeah, Myosin Discord is being shut down. He announced this to the whole world, but only because we're moving exclusively to Telegram. I think we're just in a new era. And everyone is just kind of tired of it at this point. Okay, 2 seconds. Good alpha. Shout out to Justin from Safari because he did it like a year ago, and I was really jealous and I wanted to, but we had some other logistical things we had to deal with to get there. But we're in a new era now. 5 new year, new Myosin chat.
Yeah. No, Scout Game, like all we have is a Telegram. We do not have a Discord.
That's all we need, honestly, nowadays.
No Slack.
Yeah.
No Slack, no nothing.
Well,
internally, we still coordinate on Discord.
All right. So you guys are doing it, yeah.
But no, look I've always been a Slack fanboy. So one of these days, I'll just move the whole thing back to Slack. Internal.
I love Slack. If only it wasn't this expensive, I would love it even more.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean, we moved mostly because like we started with Discord because I want the team to be able to also interact with our users who are coming in Discord. So then like we don't have a separate system. We can just this is the system we talk to each other, but also this is the system we talk to the community, right? So I think that we did get a lot of value from that, and I dealt with all the pain of Discord, but I think like in trade-off is the much closer relationship of our internal team, like the devs and others, with the community, which you would not be able to get like had we had like internal Slack and no one actually looks at Discord except like the community person plus the founders. Like, it's a totally different vibe.
Okay, let's chat a bit about it later.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and then I'm done sharing this out with folks. I think we'll naturally let it build over the next, this coming hour. But yeah, let's get into it because I think people are like, what are they talking about? What's going on? So So just getting into things. Yeah, I'll kick it off and we'll just get it going. But welcome everyone. This is Chain Reactions, our weekly live stream where we talk to leading founders, marketers, and just generally awesome people within the Web3 crypto scene. I'm Blake, one of your co-hosts. This is Paulina. Paulina, you say hi. Yeah,
I'm your co-host.
Yeah, our other co-host and amazing co-host. And today we have Alex Poon on to talk about Scout Game. Alex has a really great background. I'll let him talk about it. He's actually this is his second time, but in a different capacity. With that, I'm gonna hand it over to Alex to just talk about Scout Game and all the things you've been cooking. So take it away, Alex.
Yeah. Well, Blake, Paulina, thank you for having me. Alex Poon from Scout Game, also co-founder of Charmverse, has been an entrepreneur for a long time. Has been building startup out of New York, particularly built 2 AI-powered startup in the last 10 years. Luckily,
very relevant in 2025.
No, the whole crypto AI thing is legit. I'm excited about it. Actually, I was just literally talking to someone about it over breakfast. So 3 years ago started Charmverse, which is at this point like a leading grants management solution for different ecosystem, including like Polygon, Optimisms, and a bunch of other ecosystem. And then, somewhat recently, a few months ago, we started Scout Game from the same team, same company, because we see this opportunity to actually working with all this different ecosystem and creating we created a fantasy sports with developer, and that's what Scout Game is.
Can you elaborate a bit on a fantasy game for devs? Like, how does it work exactly? If you had like 30-second pitch, what is it?
No, absolutely. So for for the devs is that like we want to really celebrate and encourage ecosystem contributions to open source software on chain, right? Or for on chain open source software, and that we feel that we want to leverage all the crypto superpower, particularly gamification, speculation in a way, that how do you encourage developer to build, right? So as a developer, as you have your code getting your code contribution accepted by these particular open source software projects, you earn points from the Scout game. When I say that accept the code contribution, technically I mean like merge pull requests, which gets super technical, but yeah, code contribution, that's really what that is. But then for all the other people, you can play as a scout in Scout game, where you can pick and choose which developer you think will contribute more code or contribute to more projects as the builder that you earn points. That they earn points, and you will also earn points from the game as well. So yeah, being able to really support and cheer for the developers that you care about, and or you can get to learn. So yeah, like you can see on the screen, and this is some you can purchase these builder cards, which they are NFTs that you get to own, but the game runs in seasons, so the card is good for the whole season. Each season is 3 months long, but then throughout the 3-month season, every week you can go through there's a leaderboard, actually, like what you see here. This is the current leaderboard, and Merkle Fruit has been sort of top of our leaderboard this week. So it's only Wednesday as we are doing this live stream. So we kind of 2 days into this week's competition. So yeah, you can kind of see how your developers that you are supporting are doing, and then based on that, you would earn points come the end of the week. And you can come back and claim the points as a scout. As a developer, you also just automatically earn points from the Scout game based on your code contribution.
Awesome. So what inspired the Scout game? It's a very unique take on developer recognition, so I'm curious.
Yeah, so again, our other product, Charmverse, as we work with various ecosystem in giving out grants and attracting developers and other builders in the system, it is very clear to us that there is a unmet need when it comes to how do we effectively and cost effectively onboard, attract, and engage developer overall. And you can, in a way, you can think about Scout Game as a way in building a professional network, what a on-chain LinkedIn could look like. But we don't believe in just putting your resume on IPFS is the answer. We think that allowing you to actually have a fun experience in building reputation, but also in participating and being rewarded for what you do. I think that's a much better way to kind of like iterate into this professional network. Now, from the ecosystem side, we found that you can give out grants, which is actually pretty high bar, right? You have to be so deep into the ecosystem and add so much value for you to qualify for a grant, which is much larger rewards in general. But how do you go to grants? And then on the other side of the barbell is that people runs a lot of hackathons, which is a great way to introduce developer to the ecosystem. But again, it's first of all quite expensive to, we're just talking about eDenver, and there'll be tons of hackathons being run in eDenver, but like every one of them, we talk to the DevRel team, it is not cheap. It is not it's not that cost effective of a mechanism to kind of get yourself in front of and introduce the ecosystem to developers. So we see that there is a big gap in between sort of introducing developer to the ecosystem to adding so much value that you actually can be recognized with a grant and being such a main contributor. So that's where Scout Game is kind of lying between those two, where how do we kind of get you into the ecosystem one step at a time, expand your involvement, your reputation, and then also be able to switch or be able to contribute to multiple ecosystems, making it a lot easier. Because certainly when we talk to the developer side, a lot of questions we get is well, I don't know how to get started. Where do I go? Or what should I do? And a lot of I think if you when we first started Charmverse in 2021, the answer is like, come just join the Discord and contribute, right?
Yeah.
And the answer is like, I still don't understand what that means. So I think we can do a lot better and be much more explicit and have a incentive system around, what does that mean? How do we make this into a game that you play and make it both rewarding and fun?
Yeah, I think DevRel is like one of the big issues of how do you attract quality talent to your ecosystem to build more great products and ultimately, grow Web3, bring in mass adoption and all of that. And you mentioned two of the things that usually protocols do, right? It's either hackathons or grant programs. And this like Scout game is sort of like a fun gamified way to bring in more devs to your project to make that hunt for quality talent easier, but at the same time giving them a unique opportunity to explore all different ecosystems without really doing like a lot of the hunting themselves, like searching for the right hackathon, entering all these like different communities, looking for opportunities to contribute, which is amazing and sounds something as a more advanced sort of like questing platform for devs, where they build up reputation through time, right? As they participate in different tasks on Scout Game. Or how does that work?
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to like do a live. I'm like playing around, logging in, checking out the experience.
I know.
So I apologize if that's a little distracting. Yeah.
If it's good though, it's good to have something going on. Of course, I don't know what just happened there, but yeah.
Alex is like user research in real time going on.
Sorry,
what
I'll
are
wait
Scouts
on that.
doing?
Yeah. We'll pause
no,
it
it's
and do it
good.
again.
Yeah. No.
But Polina, you might want to ask that question again, because sorry, I think I was distracting everyone.
Sorry, please do. Yes.
No, I wanted to ask if so the goal for every developer that comes to play the game, right? They build up their reputation through time, or is it season to season you start from zero?
So the game itself, it does go well. So actually, of course.
And by the way, Alex, if you want me to like click around or like show anything, I can just click on the thing and you can like visually illustrate as well, just so you're aware. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll talk about that. But yeah, so the builder cards that you are purchasing, the NFTs, you own them, but their sort of effectiveness of the part, they are part of the gameplay in only scope to the season. So each season you do sort of reset to a new set of builder cards. And then also any kind of accumulated effect, such as like the price of the card, which does have a linear bonding curve on how they go up. As the more people buying the card, the more expensive it gets incrementally. So all those do reset in the game. Now we are currently in sort of pre-season 2. So actually we haven't like started the real season yet. The gameplay is being played using points. So we just completed pre-season 1, which is Q4 of 2024. And now we just started a couple weeks ago pre-season 2.
It does say pre-season 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So you can see the card that they're pre-season 2 scoped, and that we're playing the preseason in that sense. Now, after preseason 2, we do expect to launch a protocol that will be powering season 1 of the game. So there will be some sort of marked differences between the two. So for example, right now the point system do get reset because they're not tokens. But once they are no longer points and then you're actually playing the game with tokens, of course we won't zero out your tokens. So that's sort of how the scoping would work.
Okay,
Alex,
so
Polina, please finish. Yeah.
I just want to understand a bit of mechanics also. So everyone can become a scout and sort of buy a card of a dev that they support, right, for the season. Yeah. How do you make, like, for example, I know nothing about sort of deving. How do you make this, developer activity engaging and understandable for broader user base like I am, for example?
Yes, exactly. So let's look a little bit at the current tab. Right? So right now in the Scout tab that Blake is on. So if you look at, there's a lot of, in a way, a bunch of data. But so here, if you look at the leaderboard on the left, So you can see
Developers.
that the developer. So well, those are two different views. So in this view, you can see the first thing besides the name, like week's gem. So gem is what the developer earn, but from their contribution. So right now you can see that Merkle Fruit has 110 gems. And he is a level 10 player, and we'll talk about level in a second. And then the chart is a 14-day history of their ranking, of how they have played so far. So you can, and then of course the little purple line sort of give you the sort of kind of the mid line, right? So
and is the chart literally just like how many push requests they're putting on the GitHub, aka like how much code they're basically deploying or pull, or what is?
Yeah, it's actually more. So there is there's a point system. So based on like what you do, you earn different levels of points, and the chart is showing the actual ranking of like after they achieve the points and where they are ranking.
Okay. Yes. Wait, so can we just back up for a second? I think what we need to do is kind of like really simplify it for anyone. Is as someone coming in, just being frank, right? There's a lot of elements here. There's points, there's gems, there's rankings, there's cards. I think number one, what are gems? And then how does that, are those the points? Is that correct? And then,
So there's really two key things that we use to count. What you earn, the points are sort of the ultimate scoring mechanism. But on a weekly basis, so as you look here, the gems they're transient. They're only good for that particular week. We rank the builder or the developer based on the gems that they collected for that week,
and then those reset every week.
And then those resets every week. But like as they reset, they will earn both the scout and the developer points based on your ranking. So on a week by week basis, we rank you based on the gems you have, and then you earn points based on your ranking.
Where can I see the points? Is that, I guess that's the...
Yes, so that's top right. So top right, right now you have 0 points.
Because I just signed up. Let's be clear.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's good. You just signed up. And actually, there's a quest tab. If you click on that quest tab right there, there's like.
I see.
So there's a bunch of quests that you can do.
Oh, I can claim something.
So you just got 1 point.
Let's go. Okay. So those are the points. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of ways that you can earn points before you even start playing the game. So following us and so on and so forth. So this is actually a good way to learn about like what are all the ways to get started.
Right.
And of course, like referral has to have points and so on and so forth. But yeah, we don't have to go through all the quests, but like just know that.
And so scouting is effectively on buying the card of a dev. Is that correct?
Exactly. So if you go back to the Scout tab, each builder, like next to them, there's a price, right? So again, like if you look at let's scroll down a little bit. I'll go down a little bit more. So if you look at anyone, sorry, just stop. Let's say Gabe over here, right? Like the fourth person.
Okay.
Yeah, Gabe. So Gabe.
He's got a great profile. Yeah,
he has a great profile, right? And so this week he hasn't been actually performing super well. I mean, it's still early, but he only collected 2 gems for this week, and currently he's ranked 44th based on those 2 gems that he collected for this week.
I see.
Right.
Got it.
But like he is actually a highly valued player. So like it costs 620 points to buy his card, which we basically translate that about like $62 as a card.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah, so you can buy his card with points. You can buy his card with crypto. We support ETH and USDC. Once you bought the card, then you're truly playing the game, right? So to start playing the game, you need to buy at least 1 card. Now, particularly for later in the season, some of these cards get really expensive. So like to help you get started, now if you scroll back to the top, We
starter
introduce
packs.
a set of starter packs so that they are basically like the 20 points. You can earn the points from some of the social quests that you can do to just get started without even really putting in any money. Or you can just put a couple of dollars and buy a starter card to get started. The only thing about the starter cards is that you can only buy 3. And then each one of them only earn you 1/10 of the reward compared to a regular.
I see. So even if I get a really cracked dev as part of my starter pack, like I know Dan's great, and some others, it's kind of like a handicapped version of the Charizard Pokemon card or whatnot.
Yeah, but exactly that. So it's for you to just get started. You jump into this game. Someone told you about Scout Game. You want to play, but you don't want to drop a bunch of crypto to get start playing. You can start playing with the starter cards.
So now let's say I want to play, right? And I think getting to what Polina is talking about, like, what's the criteria? Like, how can I, if I know nothing about these devs, or some of these names I recognize and some of them I'm friends with, but I'm not super deep in the technical weeds, right? So what's the criteria I should be thinking about? How do I even know who to be scouting? How should one think about that?
Yeah, so that's why we provide a bunch of these statistics to make it easier for you, so that you can get a sense of on what these activities mean, right? So but let's actually dive in a little bit deeper into detail. Just pick any developer and just click into one of them.
Let's pick which one? Where Frog? Little Frog. Okay, let's pick Little Frog.
So Little Frog. So on the right side, if you look at the recent activity, you can actually kind of see exactly how they are earning the gems. Right. So a lot of these activities, people scouting. So you see that they earn 10 points doing this. They earn 10 points for 30 points for a streak. So there's a few ways to earn gems. When your code is accepted into a repo, you earn 10 gems. So if you do multiple contribution, that you get that's why you're seeing those 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Yeah. But within a 7-day period, if you have 3 contribution, you will earn a streak. So the third one, actually, this is exactly what happens. So you see 10 here, and then 10 again, right? And then he earned 30, because the third.
How much is a scout? A scout doesn't give you points. It's a separate thing here. 51 scouts versus gems. Someone
scouting you does not give you doesn't give you.
It's a different form of credibility, though, right?
Exactly, it's a different form of credibility. But actually, as a builder, you actually earn a share of the of the purchase. So
right.
Let's say when someone bought your cards for 100 points, you actually earn 20% of those points. So you actually flat out just earn 20 points without doing anything.
So it's almost like friend tech in that sense, right? It's like the keys and whatnot. You're you want people to buy an NFT, and then there's some kind of
Exactly. Yeah, you actually earn a split being a developer, and every single developer here they opt in to participate in the Scout game. So we don't, unlike some of the other games that you have seen in this area, that we do not just put up your profile without you knowing that. Paulina, you're on mute.
Oh, wait, Paulina, sorry. Yeah.
I was Alex is we do not want to be associated with these other games who just upload your profile and you're in the game.
Yes,
but I'm curious I'm curious to know what's the deal with all these pre-seasons, and when is the actual season? What's the sort of vision and strategy there? Why did you decide to kick it off with pre-season?
Yeah, so Scout Game is a DApp, right? That it is powered by a protocol, and it will have a token associated with it. But of course, as we are evolving in the space, launching a token is a whole different animal. And that we didn't want to launch the game at the same time as the token. We really want to work with the community. We want to build with the community. We want to play with the community early. And actually, we learned a ton in pre-season 1, and we expect to learn even more in pre-season 2. So we decided to run the sort of this is our airdrop program, right? that like as you play the game, your success and achievement will be factored into how we think about the airdrop when we play, and we're pretty open about that. But yeah, like this is not a but I think the main difference compared to many other airdrop programs is that like this is not a made up a bunch of tasks that you gotta go do and jump through hoops and hoping to get an allocation. You're just playing the game as you would after the token. But not right now. You play with points. You're familiar with the game, and then once the token happen, it basically is the same game. Hopefully, a better version of it, an improved version of it. But actually, it's the same game as we continue.
Paulina, we might have some technical difficulties here with your audio.
We can't
say something. Sorry, I think we have a mic issue. But while Paulina figures that out, yeah, Alex, I'd love to kind of hear the learnings, because I think this is a very novel, interesting concept. I think it's actually a pretty brilliant concept considering, I mean, it makes sense, right? Especially in the crypto community and in Web3, we're always looking, everyone's looking for devs. Everyone's looking for people to contribute. This makes so much sense. But obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of things you don't know or you just didn't expect. So what were kind of the biggest takeaways from season one? What were the things you learned? What were the weird things that you didn't expect? We'd love to hear some of them.
Yeah. So yeah, certainly some of the concept and ideas were pulled from our experience, working with the various ecosystem, but also with myself and our team having worked in tech for a long time. Like personally, I ran engineering team for 10 plus years, and this idea of getting outreach to developer, marketing to developer, and then actually like referrals, like finding developer through referrals. In a way, that's actually the fundamental relevance of the Scout game, is that how can we scale referral with skin in the game using crypto mechanics, right? Because like as you scout and determine play builders, we're really driving this like wisdom of the crowd, or even and when the two of you start looking at the different cards, you're like, oh, I know that developer, or I know that other developer. So now like we're really trying to celebrate and bring forward developers that like people actually know their work. And now being able to actually highlight them and actually help them build those relationships and reputation as part of the game. And yes, as we play and token and cards and so on and so forth. But fundamentally, like we want how to create that extra value, an extra set of reputation data for the developer ecosystem in crypto.
I'm curious because it's such a novel thing, a Scout game. We're very far from hackathons and grants that typically devs are used to. How did you solve that cold start problem initially?
Yeah, we approach it in two different, actually almost two ends of the spectrum. One is that we know that this is a challenge different ecosystems have, right? So right off the bat, we talk to some of our friends and customers of Charmverse and say like, hey, we're building something that we think address a very similar problem related to what grants is trying to solve. Although typically it's a slightly different team, like it's a DevRel team, right? But like when we show it to DevRel, like it just makes sense for them. Like, of course, we want to sponsor and be a partner in the Scout game, because like it just aligns so well with what they're trying to do. We approach the ecosystem, and of course, they promoted the ecosystem themselves promoted to their community, and certainly help us gain awareness and continue to gain awareness that way. And then secondly, we decided we found the ecosystem that had the most sort of highest concentration of developer, which is Farcaster. So we launched a waitlist campaign in Farcaster. Good thing is that one of my co-founders, Chris Corella, is a KOL in Farcaster. So we have some friends and have some KOL supports across the board, and just having friends share the early part of the Scout game, which gained us sort of 7,000 waitlist sign up as we run the program, and even before everything got started. So that sort of kicked off both sides of like having ecosystem support partners, as well as having a set of builders and scouts right from day one.
Okay, so sounds like Farcaster was that big push that needed to get to the leaderboard that we're seeing now. And I'm curious to dive a bit deeper into what that waitlist, strategy looked like. Was it just, Scout Game created a profile on Farcaster. You published sort of a teaser for the campaign, a waitlist sign up, and then the co-founder, aka the KOL, shared it, and a bunch of other people shared it. What were sort of
so we actually build a we in-house build a mini game in Farcaster. So we build a very frame-based waitlist system so that
what was it like?
So we have actually a tier system that there's 5 tiers. And so like you just join the waitlist, you'll be on the bottom of the tier, and then like as you share the frame, everything is done in frame. So as we build out different frames, so that like you can, if you share your frame, then in the back end we actually keep track of how you are attracting others in terms of basically a lightweight referral program. Within Farcaster using frames. So we basically in-house build a frame-based referral program that has tiers and people earn points as they go as well.
These devs are shipping. They're getting
That's awesome.
things done.
Yeah. Can you maybe mention how many referrals off the top of your head that you were able to like?
I mean, to be impressions? We were getting 10,000 or tens of thousands of impressions of the referral program, which I think actually we were pretty confident that we have, for maybe like a 3-4 day period, we have saturated every single person in Farcaster.
You want to white label this referral solution because I would use it for some of the clients.
Yeah, we can talk offline.
Well, and
it
that's
seems
something
so simple, but
that's something I love to dive into as well. Is like viewing. Obviously, I think as marketers, we're always thinking about like what is marketing, but awareness, distribution, mindshare, and I think especially for something as specific as kind of like appealing to crypto devs, this just makes a lot of sense, right? Because I think every ecosystem, every blockchain is trying to attract how do you get more people to build on using their tech or their technology or building on their blockchain, right? And so this seems to make so much sense intuitively. I guess my follow-up to that actually is, how have those conversations been with other, because obviously I think with Charmverse and what you've been doing for the past couple of years, you've already been building out relationships with a lot of foundations, but have you found that there's been net new foundations that are coming in and saying, hey, this is interesting, how can we collaborate? I don't know, I'll leave it there. I'm curious how
absolutely. So actually a great example is our partnership with Cello. So Cello was not a Charmverse customer in the grant perspective, but actually when we were talking to the DevRel team there, they were actually super excited. Actually, I think my Bill quote, like, they've been wanting something like this for months. They actually, to the point that they almost started building something, right?
Yeah.
So actually, if you go to that's the benefit of finding great partners. If you go to Cello Dev's Twitter account, they actually pin the Cello Scout Game partnership on top of their tweet, right? So they very much do use us to engage their developer and to onboard new developer into their ecosystem. And I think it has been a very great partnership between us and the Cello team, which we are super grateful for.
It sounds like Scout Game can be used as a community building tool, like specifically for devs. But I'm curious, when it comes to communication with those different groups of devs, like you don't have a classification between devs who are focused on Cello or devs who are focused on Optimus, or other sort of like badges that you can tell them apart in the game.
So some of these are coming. That is actually one of the biggest gameplay suggestion that we've gotten, which are coming, is this idea of like teams or different tribes. And again, crypto is so
competitive
and so tribal.
Competitive and tribal, and it naturally reflect on in the game as well. You absolutely will see us make that easier for you to see, because we actually again, we have players organically would come in and say, and they would post it on Twitter and say, like, I am buying cards for like every Optimism developers because Optimism developer ships. That's like literally paraphrasing a tweet, right? Like, so someone
that's crazy.
Have done that. Actually, they've done super well, right? So it developed into like new kinds of gameplay, but again, it reinforces the reputation of each of the tribes and how they're proud of like their team, their developers, and what they represent.
Yeah, I think also people get so like obsessive with specific ecosystems that if you had a game like Optimism devs versus Cello devs to see how much they ship within 1 month, they would be shipping like non-stop.
Exactly. It's such a great gameplay, such a great set of content that we can provide. So yeah, that is very much on our roadmap to bring to the game.
Awesome. So I want to dive deeper a bit on the topic of community, because we touched base on the communities that come to you, but I would assume that you also want to build this very engaged developer community to keep them coming back to the game, right? So I'm curious, what's your main channel right now? Is it Discord? Is it Telegram? Is it email?
Yeah. So yeah, we do have a Telegram channel. Actually, we have a Telegram app as well. So you can actually play the game using the Telegram app or the web app that we were showing. They look almost identical, except it's a mobile version of it, right? So yeah, you can launch the Scout game from the community Telegram chat and directly play from there as well.
What's the most used, the Telegram mobile version or the desktop one?
The desktop, well, the web version still dominates. Although part of it, I think that we do, again, we have a pretty big game player base on Webcast, and currently we don't have a Webcast mini app yet, which another thing that is on our roadmap and in the near-term roadmap. Blake, you're on mute, by the way. So that's also coming, and then we certainly imagine that like as we launch that, more players will play the game using the Webcast mini.
Yeah, so a lot of platforms, a lot of sort of communication channels, a lot of different communities. How big is your marketing team?
We are, I have to count everybody, like including myself, maybe 3.
Nice. So it's pretty much all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Well, and the beauty of this is, sorry, go ahead, Alex. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm a big believer that like as an early stage startup, you're either building or you are marketing, selling. That's it. That's the only thing that you do. That's
founder-led marketing for you. And I think the beauty of what you're doing, Alex, is this is so true to, I think, like what you've been doing for so long, and kind of like it's a natural evolution of all the all those relationships you've been building, the unfair advantages you guys already have in terms of working with these ecosystems and building that trust and knowing who's on Warpcast and being able to leverage those into something that feels like such a natural solution to what you're looking at. I do have oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just also curious to kind of dive into like, what is the end goal, I guess, with Scout Game in terms of, because I'm not necessarily seeing any like direct monetization outside of maybe like, I guess you're taking slight fees off of when you're minting these cards, maybe. Yeah. But like, what's the longer term game plan? Like, is this going to be is this going to be the focus, and then Charmverse kind of supports in the background? Is this more of just kind of a way to kind of support your existing Charmverse clients? Like, how do you think about those things as you move forward? Very curious about that. Yeah.
So first, between the relationship with Charmverse and Scout Game, it's 2 separate products. We certainly continue to support both of them, and of course, as we have been talking about already, there's a lot of synergy across the 2, particularly the problem we're trying to solve, right? So yeah, we'll continue to see us support both programs and actually make both of them thrive, and they do, I think, benefit from each other. The long term of this, and we see a lot of opportunities for Scout Game. So right now, of course, we are very focused on growing within the crypto ecosystem and open source ecosystem. And you can imagine that like you don't really need to be crypto native to play the game or to participate in the game or to be a project that you want to attract developers. So that certainly can expand it out into all open source ecosystems. But it doesn't really end there, right? If you think about some of the new technologies like CKTLS that enable you to pull private data into the public domain or be able to prove your contribution, you can see us expanding into like all software development. Kind of how do we think about software development community for everything? That's kind of where we are headed.
So you're trying to take over all devs. It's not just crypto devs. Ultimately. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exciting. Yeah.
I like that the partnerships that you do with the ecosystem, they go beyond PR, which is very common for partnerships in our space, when the partnership just is a PR stunt and there's really very little behind it. So I'm curious, what would be like a dream partnership for Scout Game? What ecosystem would be like the mecca?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to name any ecosystem per se, but I think we look to, ecosystem that really have that focus in on a sustained basis, onboarding and really engaging the devs, right? Like almost every ecosystem say that, but I think in actions are different depending on the ecosystem, and you can see that particularly as a dev, you kind of get a sense of like where do you go that you get more support and less support, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we look for ecosystem that kind of really have that focus and is ready to deploy, resources of all kind, right? So yeah, some sponsorship, partnership money, sure, but it's also like the time spent that like you really are investing in our relationship, but actually investing in your builder, in your ecosystem, right? So we want ecosystem to actually really care about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm curious also with ETH Denver coming up, do you have any plans, activations, fun mini games planned for the event?
Not yet. I will be there. I know that. Both myself and my co-founder Chris will be there. So these are two of us who will be talking of Scout Game and Charmverse as we move around. But yeah, we're not sure about activation yet.
Okay, so no IRL referral gamification layer built in yet.
Well, we have actually pretty decent referral program directly in the app. So certainly there might be more to come on like how to make referral even easier, particularly when it comes to more developers.
Okay, so it's mostly focused on the devs, not the scouts right now.
It's actually both. So again, like well, actually, right now the referral program is very scout focused. You will see us come out with something that's a little bit more developed.
Well, and then at the same time, can't devs be scouts for other devs, right? Like anyone can play the game, right? So you can, yeah.
Actually, developers are some of our best players because, like you said, they get the game, they get the underlying mechanism, they just get it right off the bat.
Yeah.
So.
I would imagine also for scouts, the mobile version would be the one that's used the most, and for devs, it would be the desktop one. I don't know. It's just my gut is telling me that if I were to participate, I would more likely to do it from a Telegram app that would also send me notifications, perhaps for how my cards are doing, how the devs are shipping, or like top 3 performers this week, things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, yeah, in a way, actually, I wonder, we don't see as big of a comparatively of like mobile usage than I thought, because I definitely think that like, we very much took a mobile first approach to building the game, because we did expect and continue to see a solid mobile usage, but actually in a way I was expecting more.
Interesting. So what is...
Well, and just to chime in there, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you're talking to devs and it is focused on shipping code, I don't think there are that many devs shipping code on their phones per se.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, Warpcast and mobile, it's good for the social interaction part, but when you actually want to do things, it's just a very natural parallel of, I think when I was playing around with setting it up, like you connect your GitHub and, you're already there, you're writing code, you just open up a tab and boom. So it feels very intuitive, I guess, in that sense. Yeah. By the way, also on Denver, I feel like there's some kind of really interesting, there's something there in terms of some kind of IRL version of this. Whether it's, I don't think it's a poker game, but it's some kind, maybe it is a poker game, I don't know, but there's something connected to this where you can kind of bring Scout Game IRL. Anyways, we should just
Pokemon cards
later. Yeah.
Pokemon.
Oh, well, actually, maybe you should be printing. There should be just like for the people who are like really elite, then they can get like the physical ones, right? That's a pretty low lift. Feels like, I don't know.
Just it would be a cool merch for sure.
Yeah, that is fun.
So what's next for Scout Game? As in, you have preseason 1 that's completed. Now you have preseason 2 running for about 1 to 2 months, right? And after
2
that,
weeks, yeah.
2 weeks, okay. So then, is it preseason 3? Is it season 1? What are the big sort of steps that you have planned for Q1, let's say?
Yeah. So our expectation is that the next season is going to be season 1. So then we will have just kind of everything in place. So that's certainly one big play. Second thing,
so you're leaving testnet. You're going to mainnet soon, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, exactly.
Farm your gems.
Yes, farm your gems now. And so that's certainly one thing. And then second thing is that we are going to be introducing different gameplay, different game mode, and then like your point is fully taken in terms of like still developer and like what they do is still for others who don't ship code it's still kind of a mystery, right? So like we continue to iterate as much as we can and like how do we make this game that is playable and understandable by everybody? That yes, we want to highlight the developer and highlight their achievement, but we don't want to go so deep in the tech rabbit hole that they alienate everybody else. So we really want to strike that balance of like kind of pulling out the insight and then like presenting that to everybody, all the players, and then you can, as you play the game, you get to learn the developer, you're going to learn what they do, and actually, like just again truly build a ecosystem and reputation around shipping.
I'm curious because there's so many hackathons going on all the time around. Do you see a Scout Game as a tool in a way that could be used on top of that IRL hackathon that's happening on an event during a specific event?
Yeah, so we do have some unannounced partnership that actually falls into almost exactly that Scout Game is actually a really good addition or a follow-on game right after the hackathon, right? So like you spend all this time, effort, money in the hackathon, attracting maybe tens or hundreds of developers to this one day or one weekend event, and then you kind of lose all of them the second the event's over.
Yeah.
So be able to like onboard them to Scout Game and continue to foster that relationship in your ecosystem is a great way to really invest the time and money to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. As a retention tool, it would be great for DevRel teams generally.
Exactly.
Because you're thinking about that.
How are you thinking about partnerships with different ecosystems and teams right now? Because I can think right off the top of my head, even like teams that we're working with right now that are actually trying to solve similar problems that I think this would be helpful on. But I'm assuming there's only so much resource and time to kind of like prioritize different campaigns or activations. Like, just curious, like, what's the priority list? How are you thinking about that? Is it more just kind of like hold off until things are more built out? Or if basically what I'm asking is if a blockchain came to you and said, we want to do a campaign using this and like run a tournament, is it too early for that? Is that coming soon? Or how do you think about it? Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all. So right now, as for those, in the DevRel in different ecosystem that are listening, come to us. We provide absolutely like white glove service to help have you get the campaign set up. And make sure that like we have the proper like joint marketing and so on to make sure that this is a strong event in both either attracting or retaining developer as you go. But yeah, we are ready to go and certainly have been working with multiple ecosystem already.
Good to know.
Awesome.
I have some names in mind. I think I might have to, once this is on the podcast, I'll share it with them and say, go talk to Scout Game. There's something there. Yeah.
Awesome. As we have a few minutes left, so I wanted to do a fire round of questions for you, Alex. Are you ready?
We love rapid fire.
Let's do it.
Okay, first one. Most underrated marketing tactic in Web3 right now?
Video still. Video / TikTok.
I thought you were going to say Farcaster frames. Okay, video. What's the most overrated one?
KOLs. Just feel a little
Okay.
spicy.
Which crypto brands are actually crushing it right now on social or marketing in general?
I think Base is absolutely crushing it. Yes, unparalleled, I think.
Okay.
Great ecosystem. Yeah.
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 And the last one is worst marketing advice you've seen being pushed recently.
Well, I guess similarly, leveraging KOLs, I think like many of the really poor, either just full outcome or marketing missteps end up because of some mismanagement of KOLs or just generally KOLs.
Yeah, I tend to agree because a lot of the things are done usually blindly, just like throw money at it and hope for the best. I think more and more that we're having this podcast, more and more people we're talking to, the most overrated one is more often KOLs than anything else. So there's definitely going to be a shift from that.
Oh, wait. And then one last question. I think I asked this last time, Alex, but I always love to ask every single guest, which is looking back, we're entering a new year, 2025. Looking back at 2024, biggest learning, professional learning or personal learning from the past year that, I don't know, if you did any reflections. Yeah.
Should have bought more Bitcoin.
That's all of us.
I know. No, I think that I think certain things is that technology, having conviction in actually all things, right? I think like crypto has certainly have gone through, when we first met, and sort of still a high, and then like we certainly struggled through the low for a long time, and like we're still here, right? And
still here.
I think I think that's it's a big piece of like resilience. It's a real thing. It's easy to talk about in a tweet, in a blog post, but I think like really doing it is certainly. It's kind of silly to see people that start up, that left crypto, went to AI, and then come back to crypto. You're like, what are you doing? So,
that's a tale as old as time. People chasing the next hot thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do no problem. But yeah, to me, I think that reaffirm my belief that I think grit and resilience is important.
Exactly. I love that.
That's a good one.
And hopefully this year, I feel like we're on the cusp of something very major. So hopefully this time it's different, right? That's what they say every cycle.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I don't know, Pauline, anything else? We feel good? Yeah. All right. Well, unless there's, I think that's it then. So, listen. Last thing actually, Alex. Where can people find you? What's the call to action? Feel free to just give it a little show. Yeah.
We would love for all of you to play the Scout game. So it is scoutgame.xyz. Come sign up, buy a couple of starter cards, just play around, get to learn the game. We're excited to hear from you and play the game. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Telegram too. So it's all the same. It's Alex Poon _HK. I'll play Hong Kong. And so I'm same handle across everything. Discord, Farcaster, Telegram, X.
Consistency makes it easier. We love it.
Branding.
Personal branding. This is a founder who knows what he's doing. All right.
Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yeah, thanks so much, Alex. This is really good. And we'll see you online. We'll see you in Denver. And excited to play some Scout game in the meantime.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.